everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and it's time for the mid-year freakout tag. That's right, it is already June. So this tag kind of just gives a little rundown of your reading up until this point in the year. So jumping right in, the first question is, what is the best book that you have read so far this year? And for me, that would have to be the Chaos Walking trilogy. I was admittedly pretty disappointed by the final book in the trilogy, but The Knife of Never Letting Go is definitely the best book that I've read this year, and this is still just such an interesting series that it's still got to be my favorite for the year. Question number 2 is, what is the best sequel that you have read this year? And unlike Chaos Walking, which ended on a low note, the Shadow and Bone series by Leigh Bardugo just got better and better. The first book I was pretty unsure of. It was such a basic YA, so full of tropes, that I found it pretty uninteresting and boring. So then I was so pleasantly surprised by the sequel, which was just so much better, and then the third got even better. Question number 3 is, what is a new release from this year that you haven't gotten to yet? And for me, that is Mirror's Edge by Scott Westerfeld. This is a part of the Imposters series, which is a spin-off of the Uglies series, which is my favorite dystopian series of all time. This spin-off series isn't as good so far. It's a little messier, but I am still excited to get to this third one and can't wait until I'm able to. Question number 4 is, what is an anticipated release for you coming up still this year? And I don't think I really have an anticipated release for the second half of the year this year. I don't really anticipate releases a whole lot unless it's a series that I'm reading or an author that I know well. And yeah, I tend to be so far behind on reading that by the time I get to a series, it's already done anyways, so I don't really have to anticipate the rest of the series. And I don't follow like a ton of authors' releases. So yeah, I mean, I hear about books that are coming out, but I don't get really excited about them unless it's a part of a series that I'm already reading or a big author that I know I like. So I don't have an anticipation for later this year. Question number 5 is, what book was your biggest disappointment so far this year? And mine was One Dark Throne by Kendare Blake. This is the second book in the Three Dark Crowns series, and it just had a huge drop-off for me from the first book. And so unlike Chaos Walking, the second book in the series I still really loved. It was just that finale that was a disappointment. Whereas this series, it started going downhill from the second book. And this probably was my least favorite book in the whole series of 4 books. So yeah, just a big disappointment. The first one was so action-packed and exciting. So then when this one didn't have that same impact, I was pretty disappointed. Question number 6 is, what book was your biggest happy surprise this year? And for this one, I'm going to go with Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Obviously, I knew this was a classic, but classics don't tend to be in my wheelhouse. Older books don't tend to be in my wheelhouse. So I wasn't so sure if I personally would enjoy this book, regardless of how high quality it is. But I actually did find it really interesting, and I was glad that I gave it a shot. Question number 7 is, who's your favorite new author of this year? And my favorite new author that I had never read before is going to have to be Jandy Nelson. Her writing style is just very similar to like John Green, Rainbow Rowell, Jennifer Niven type writing style, which is definitely in my wheelhouse. And so I really enjoyed this one, and I would be interested to read more Jandy Nelson. Question number 8 is, who is your new crush character? And going back to the Grishaverse, my new crush character, I guess, is Nikolai. Move over, Darklina shippers. I don't understand the attraction to the Darkling. For me, it is Nikolai all the way. Question number 9 is, who is your favorite new character? Which I could have gone with Nikolai here, obviously, but I wanted to have a different character here. I also could have gone with Manchi, the dog from the Chaos Walking trilogy, but the first book was technically a reread this year, so I felt like that was cheating. So going with a new read this year, I'm going to have to go with The Mole from The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Maxey. And the mole is just so cute and he loves cake, and I found it hilarious every time throughout the book that the mole was talking about cake. Question number 10 is, which book made you cry this year? And I don't know if any of the books that I have read have made me cry. I don't remember. I don't think so. But if one did, probably be either I'll Give You the Sun or The Knife of Never Letting Go. There's a very sad scene kind of towards the end of the middle of the book. If you've read it, I think you know it. But honestly, I don't know if any of these made me cry. I don't remember. Question number 11 is, what book made you happy this year? And going for a repeat here again, I'm gonna have to go with The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. It's just such a cute little feel-good book that it just makes you smile, and it's just a quick and easy and fun read. Question number 12 is, which book that you read this year has the prettiest cover? And for this, I'm going to have to go with Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I just love the aesthetic of all of these covers. And question number 13, the final question, is, what book do you still need to get to in the second half of this year? And I need to get to The Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. I want to get to this one, need to get to this one, because my boyfriend read this trilogy last year, and so I know he's excited for me to read it so that we can finally talk about it. So I'm hoping, I was planning to try to get to it in August. I don't know if I'll get everything that's kind of in line before it done in July to be able to get to it in August, but September at the latest, we hope. So that is it for the mid-year freakout tag. These are just some of the books that I have read or want to read this year. Let me know down below what you have been excited about this year that you've read, what you're excited to read in the second half of the year, and if you're freaking out about your TBR. On to the quote for today's video. And today I have a quote from Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, and it is said by Hagrid, and it's just a very short, simple one. It goes, "What's coming will come, and we'll meet it when it does." Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter.